There's this really fascinating migration happening in America right now, and it's probably not what you're thinking. It's not about chasing big tech jobs or even just about lower taxes. People are flocking to one particular state, searching for something, well, a lot more fundamental. So let's get into it and break down why Tennessee is suddenly the place to be.
I mean, do you ever just feel like the place you live is actively working against you? Like the cost of living is just suffocating, and there are rules for everything. If you're tired of feeling boxed in, especially if you're out west, then you're going to want to hear this. We're going to look at a place where things are just different.
All right, so here's the plan. First, we're going to talk about something as basic as the weather and see how it changes, well, everything. Then we'll dive into the culture, the real vibe of the place. After that, we hit the big one, freedom, and what that actually looks like day to day. And finally, we'll tie it all together and figure out what's really driving this massive shift. Okay, first up, the clash of climates. Look, if you're from a state like Arizona or parts of California, you know that water is life. It dictates your bills, your garden, your whole lifestyle. But in Tennessee, the fact that water is everywhere, it completely changes the game. This slide just says it all, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the West. It's dry, it can be dusty, and you're always thinking about water. Every drop counts. On the other side, you have Tennessee. Green, lush, a place where rain is just this amazing gift from the sky. And that simple difference, it makes a huge impact on how you feel every single day.
But hey, it's not just the natural landscape that's drawing people in. It's the social landscape too. And that brings us to our second point, the culture. We're talking about a shift away from a world of stiff, rigid rules to a place where neighborliness and, a little bit of that rebellious spirit are still very much alive.
I love this quote because it's so perfect. It's not really about the moonshine itself, right? It's about what it stands for. It's about a culture of trust, of generosity, of a real community that, let's be honest, is kind of hard to find in a lot of places these days. It's about actually knowing your neighbors.
And that sense of community, that connection, it leads us right into our third major point, which is freedom. And I'm not talking about some abstract idea. I mean the real, tangible freedom to live your life without someone from the HOA constantly breathing down your neck.
So we've all dealt with zoning laws, right? They're the rule book that tells you what you can build, where you can build it, and exactly what color you're allowed to paint your fence. In a lot of places, those rules are set in stone. But what if they weren't?
And this is where it gets really interesting, because in parts of Tennessee, that big, scary rule book, it's treated more like a light suggestion. And that simple shift in attitude is a total game changer. It just cracks open this whole world of possibility.
So what does that freedom actually feel like? Well, it's the pride of building a cabin with your own two hands. It's the simple joy of having enough land to raise a few goats if you want to. And maybe most of all, it's the incredible relief of just not having to answer to anyone about your own property. It's about real, actual ownership.
So let's pull all these threads together. You've got abundant, life-giving water, you've got a culture built on real community, and you've got the freedom to build a life on your own terms. What does that all add up to? Why Tennessee?
This right here is the core of it. People are moving there because it hits this perfect sweet spot. It's the balance point between comfort and country. You're not totally escaping civilization. You're just finding a more human-sized version of it. A place where you have room to breathe and the freedom to be yourself without giving up all the things that make life good.
And that really brings us to the final and maybe the biggest question. In a world that just feels way too fast, way too expensive, and way too complicated, is this what people are really searching for? A place to put down real roots, to build something that lasts, and to feel a genuine connection to the land and the people around you? I mean, could this be the new American dream?
Hey, if this look at the new American dream got you thinking, we'd really appreciate it if you'd like this explainer and subscribe for more deep dives into the trends shaping our world. Thanks so much for joining us.